on purpose. According to clinical psychologists. Maybe I read too much. If you think that you can keep on doing that same old silly stuff and come out with a better conclusion, that's considered clinical insanity. And they'll be trying to put you on some pills and trying to bring you back to reality. At this juncture in our salvation, we should want to try something different. And let me dispel the other myth. Just because it's different don't mean it's of the devil neither. You know how boxed in our thinking is. We got a boxed in thinking about an unboxable God. We got a closed in thinking of an unclosable God. He's not in a box, so why are we trying to put him in a box? Why are you trying to put your light in the box? The Bible says you ought to sit it up high. You don't want nobody to know you changed. You don't want nobody to know you don't go to the club no more. You don't want nobody to know you ain't a wine bibber no more. You don't want nobody to know that you... I'm glad about my change. Now let's keep it all the way to 100. You know, I'll tell the good, the bad, and the ugly. Some of the stuff I didn't want to, I did because I didn't want to. Now that means man and woman enough to say that. But when I found out how ignorant I was, let's keep it real, when I found out how stupid I was, I said, God, well, they used to be holding on to nothing that's going to take me to hell when I can drop it like it's hot. But I found out that we like to have, even some people even like pain. It keeps them comfortable in that spot. Because see, you always got that, what I call it, that drive-by whip. You can whip it out. Well, you know, if I had the so-and-so, if they had the so-and-so, then I would have. But see, when you drop it and you let stuff go, it gets rid of the excuses for why you ain't changed. It gets rid of the excuses for why you ain't growing. It gets rid of the excuses for why you're not progressing in God. Ain't you sick of the same ones, those that do the altar call, coming up for the same thing for 20-some years? I pray for me, I need strength. If you ain't got it by now, you ain't gonna have nothing. You mean you've been begging God for 20 years for strength? I'm sorry. After the first couple of times, you should have grabbed a hold of some strength. Well, maybe if you dance more, or clapped your hands more, or gave God the praise more, because the book said that the joy of the Lord is my strength. I wish we would change to the point to where when we come in the door, we be dancing before the musician got there. I saw in the book somewhere, maybe I made a mistake, but I thought the book said to enter his courts how? Enter his gates how? So when we come in and wait for somebody to warm us up, wait for somebody to throw some wood on the fire, we're in error to God. We're being disobedient because he said to worship him. Let everything that hath breath. Well, when we get changed enough, we'll do it. I can only assume or ascertain at this juncture that that's the reason why we don't do what the book says, because we haven't changed enough. We still got some of the old man in there that's resisting the change. Don't resist it, because if you resist it long enough, he said, I'll turn you over to a reprobate mind. I won't want you, the devil won't want you. Lord help me. I'm going to go a little further and I'm going to stop. Why are we so resistant to change? Even a drunk gets tired of being drunk. And I know this for a fact because I talked to them, not interviewed them, but I talked to people that were substance abusers. And I'm the kind of person, I'm so sensitive to the needs of people who are disenfranchised or misunderstood. I said, now, when I'm making reference to people who are crack abusers or drug abusers or meth or whatever, I want to make sure that I'm not sounding disrespectful or that I'm not using the right terminology, because I was saying that even a person who does crack don't want to do crack. So I talked to a couple of people. I talked to this one lady. She did crack for about 18 or 19 years. Her kids were raised in foster care the whole time she was doing crack. She finally stopped doing crack. And I would say, well, why couldn't you stop? She said, Pastor, I prayed. And I would say, God, if you'll let me get high this time and don't die, I won't get high no more. She said she'd pray that prayer and then she would get high. And I said, but wait a minute, I thought you was on crack for like 18. She said, yes. She said, after that time, I got high some more. But when I said it, when I prayed it, I meant it. I didn't want to do crack no more. I couldn't help myself. But somewhere along the way, through the answer of prayer, she changed. She's been crack free for over 10 years. Change is possible if you want to change. I don't know how true it is. They say something about you got to hit rock bottom or you got to go so far down you can't go nowhere but up. I don't know about all that. And I'm not going to throw off on nobody's 12-step program. Because I'm sensitive to my audience. But I will tell you this. If you've been an alcoholic or a crack abuser, a 12-step program may help you get your mental capacity together. But only Jesus Christ can cure a habit. Only Jesus Christ can curse the devourer. Only the power of the anointed one. I mean, I don't want to be out of line. But we got to give credit to whom credit is due.
Yes, sir.
If you've been through a 12-step program, I don't have no problem with that. They teach you a 12-step program, your higher power. Well, I don't like personal pronouns and description. I like words. Jesus Christ. Or just God, if you don't know. Or Elohim. You know, it just depends on what Jehovah, Jireh. He has a name. And there's power in his name. You have to apply that power to you so you can change. If you can do it just, I'm telling you. I get so tired of people telling me, Pastor, Elder, I swear, when I get myself together, I'm coming. And you know what I tell them? Well, baby, we're not going to never see you. Because if you could change yourself, why would you need God? If you're waiting for some kind of change to take place over at the crack house, or some kind of change to take place over at the bootleg house, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's highly unlikely.
That's right.
God can get you wherever you're at.
That's right.
But as we learned today in church, this is about being among the sanctified. This is about being among those that are trying to make it to the same place you're trying to make it to. The apostle said, now here I go. I'm saving everybody, healing everybody. I'm throwing out lifelines to everybody, and then I'll mess around and be a castaway myself. Because I'm so carried away with what you're doing and how you're doing it that I missed the boat myself. Trust me, it's from the pulpit to the door. We all got to change. If you think where you at right now is where you're supposed to be, then there's something wrong. Because this is supposed to be a daily thing. This is for every day. You ought to love God more today than you did yesterday. You ought to want to praise Him more today than you did yesterday. You ought to want to worship Him deeper and harder today than you did last Sunday.
Yes.
I don't know about you, but they got a song, Falling in Love with Jesus.
Yes, yes.
It's the best thing that I've ever done. Lord knows how mercy, Connie, was a wonderful thing. Is a wonderful thing. Will be a wonderful thing. But she wasn't better than Jesus Christ. Lord knows my mama carried me for 9 months inside her body and gave birth to me. But she couldn't do me better than Jesus. Not my mother or my father, my brother, my sister, my friend, love, nobody can do you better than Jesus. It's worth changing for. Just a moment in His presence. So as I close, this is what I said. I had more to go, but I'm not worried your patience. Read those 2 scriptures when you get a chance. I said to somebody, this was at my uncle's funeral, when I eulogized him about, a few weeks ago, about 8 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago. And I said, why not live as if there is a God? And then if you find out there wasn't, guess what? You just lived being a good person and you was good to everybody and you treated everybody right. Then to live like the devil and in the gutter and then find out there was a God and then have to go to a place worse than the gutter. Yeah. And they kind of just looked at me all crazy, but I had to put it in the way they could understand. And some people might have thought it was inappropriate at the funeral setting, but guess what? God spoke to me and said, some of these people don't go to church. They've never been to church. And this is as close to church as they'll get at the funeral. And they won't be back to church to the next funeral, either there or for somebody else. So I went on and gave them what thus saith the Lord. And this is what the funeral director said when I was done. Well, Rev, you sent us all to hell today. That wasn't my purpose, but I wanted to know what hell was since some of them had never heard about it. Because if they had, I think they would make better decisions. Before I knew hell was a place, I lived like there wasn't one. Then when I found that there was one, I started changing. I'm not saying you're supposed to beat people over the head with it, but knowledge is power. The Bible said, ye shall know. Once again, another command from God. He didn't say get to know, try to know. He said, You shall know. That means you are knowing it, going to know it, it's going to be known. Present tense. And it will make you free. And I'm free today because I know the truth. If you want to change, you're in the right place at the right time. Guess what, y'all? If you've made the change, but you know somebody that needs to make the change, why don't you come and help them make the change? Why don't you stand in the gap for them? You don't have to be a family member. It can be a co-worker. It can be somebody you don't even like. But guess what? If God fixes them, then you can like them. How about that? He said, love your enemies. That's what the word said. And I'm going to tell you the truth. That's a hard one for Robert Lewis. But this is how I know I'm saved. When I can smile and grin, and if they needed something, give it to them. And you know, and the whole time God is speaking, saying, go do what you know, the devil saying, but I thought you didn't like it. But see, when you're in this transition and you're making this change, the devil's voice gets lighter and lighter. God's voice gets stronger and stronger. The devil ain't gonna never stop talking, but you pay less attention. See, we as preachers and pastors, Bishop, we set people up to fail. We don't give them the whole road. We give them just enough to get them happy and shouting and dancing and speaking in tongues. But sometimes we need to give them some stuff that'll shock them or scare them so they can do better. We set saints up to fail by not telling them that the devil came to kill, to steal, and to destroy. But I still got more good news. Jesus came that you might have life and that more abundant. If anybody want to change tonight, anybody in the midst of a change tonight, is anybody transitioning tonight? I just want to hear him say, well done. Some of us, when we get to the judgment bar, he's going to say, depart. I don't want to hear him say, depart. I want to hear him say, well done. He's coming for a church without a spot or wrinkle. Not the building. He's coming for you and me. And it's going to have to be any such thing. I found out that any such thing is what's not been changed yet. That stuff that's still hanging on, that's the any such thing. That's that stuff that you want to hold on to because it makes you feel better. Because some of us feel like, well, if I give all the way into God, then I'm going to have a responsibility. I'm going to have to do this, and this. Write the word about that when God's in control. You're not in control, and you know why I know you're not? Because we was bought with a price. And when you buy something, you treat it like you want it, don't you? So how are we telling God what to do when he's done sent his son to buy us with a price that no man can pay? Can I get a witness? As I take my seat, is it appropriate? Yes. Anyone have a prayer request for themselves or for a loved one? As I forestated, if you think that you're all right, that's all well and good, but what about somebody else? You know somebody else that needs to change? You know somebody else that wants to change, but maybe they don't know how? They don't know how to make the first step? Why don't you help them make the first step? Throw their name up to the Lord. You know what the centurion told him? And he said, this is kind of strange, this story, because God has taken me really deep down into some of the scriptures and how he has revealed it to me. Sometimes I have to chuckle and laugh because I've heard it, it's been preached, I've read it, I preached it, but now it has a whole deeper meaning. And the centurion really tried to almost put himself aligned with Jesus, because he said, I know you got power because I got power too, because if I tell them to go, they go. If I tell them, think about that a minute. He was really comparing himself with Jesus. Did y'all get that? When you go back and really exegese that, look at it. And he said, and if I tell them to go, they go. If they tell them to carry papers, they carry papers. So then I know that you got more power than me. So you ain't got to go to the house. But if you would just speak the word. And since God don't change, since Jesus don't change, don't you believe you can stand in the gap for somebody? I had a co-worker. She didn't go to church. She was, the money ones don't believe in this church establishment, the church thing. That's what they call it. And I don't know, I'm just still enough, I didn't pay that no attention. And she had asked something about some prayer, which kind of shocked me, caught me off guard. So I was like, well, wait a minute, I thought you said you didn't go to church. I didn't say that loud, I'm thinking to myself. So I didn't think enough about it. And then when I got to church, that's how I like the Holy Ghost, because he brought it back to mind, because otherwise I would have totally forgotten about it. I would totally forget it. Not on purpose, but I just would. And the Lord brought it back to my mind. So I believe, Sister Connie, didn't we have somebody step for her in her place? And it was about a couple of weeks later, she came to my desk at work. She said, The other Sunday, I know y'all had been praying for me. I was standing in the kitchen washing dishes, looking out the window. And she said something just overcame me, and I knew y'all was praying for me. Now this is somebody that don't know church. If we would just be the light, be the vessel. If we would just stand in the gap. You know, some people would be like, well, I don't know what she asking prayer for. She don't even know. You know how we do it. But because she supplied the faith, we supplied the prayer. God made a difference in our life. Now she's sending me stuff on Facebook with Bible quotes and scriptures and blessing me and blessing my household and blessing my finances. I said, okay, Lord. Another soldier in your corner. Out of loving kindness. Why? Lord, I'm going to sit down before I get in trouble. Why saints so mad all the time? Ain't you glad you saved? Aren't you glad you came? What you mad about? Well, maybe you just ate lemons. I don't know. Anyone else? We don't want to not give you an opportunity. God can do it right where you're sitting at, but what I believe, I'll come to believe. If you get out of your seat and you make it down the aisle, you've already supplied the faith.